This is Walk Talk with Nancy.
Debate, belief, lifestyle, strengthen family bonds, hear from special guests, future.
Walk Talk with Nancy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Walk Talk. Yes, guys. So listen, today we have a phenomenal show for us, and it is really going to be something that I think we all can relate. We all have one time or one way, one situation that we have take this leap of faith, and that is business. Okay. So our show today is going to be Woman of God in Business. That is our title. And so we're going to dissect a lot of the do's, the don'ts, the ups, the downs, all the ventures, faith, everything. We're going to speak about what it takes to be a woman in business, especially when you are a woman of faith. Because again, all of us, I think we all have one way or another have taken a small leap of faith, a big leap of faith, and we have probably shared some of the same common things. And so we're going to, discuss all these things and of course, give you guys some ideas on how to be successful in your business and how to move to the next level in God and in your business as well. All right. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with our show today, Woman of God in Business.
After reading The Fight Within is Won by the Spirit, my life completely changed. It's a journey to healing, and you deserve it too. Are you ready to launch a rewarding career in taxes? At Integrated Financial Investment Group, we are here to help. Join our 2-day Tax Preparer Masterclass this fall. We are hosting it on October 17th and 24th. Our virtual class will be hosted through Zoom on November 14th and 21st. You will get learning packets packed with real tax forms. Get ready for free P-Assistance too. Turn tax season into your season of opportunity. Seats are strictly limited. Register today with I5G.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. All right, guys. So pretty much we are going to go and dive right in because as you know, we pretty much have a great deal of information that we want to share with you guys today in regards to women in business. And one of the things that we are going to take a look at is what it takes to be, a woman in business versus, where most men opportunities and things happen, especially like right now, we just went through the election season. I believe it was yesterday or so that the voting polls were done. And there were so many women running for some type of seat, in the state of Florida, all over the country. And we saw the mass of, intelligent, wise, educated, women came out and they wanted to get a piece of that pie. And, just like any business, we go into these ventures where it is male dominated and we try to get a piece of that pie. And it's just, at times the hardest thing for us to do. And it is not because we're looked down upon, because this is not a feminist show. We're not doing that. But it's just to show how hard it is at times just to get our feet in the door as women. So needless to say, being a woman of, a faith, a woman of ethics, a woman that knows what she wants and how she wants to go about it, it even doubles, right? Because we have, certain things we just would not do as, being a woman of God, where someone that is in the world, they will cross people, lie, cheat, like put their feet in the necks of those that are in competition or they might seem to be in competition with. We don't do that over here. At least we shouldn't. right? At least we should not be moving like that. But it is, again, so much harder for us to make it in any and every industry. Like I remember myself going into the accounting business 17 years ago. It was probably one of the easiest but the hardest businesses for me to start. Now keep in mind, I want to say this, and we're gonna go into this a little bit in failing in some of those attempts of businesses. But before I got to start Eden Dream Services, or even partner up with my husband with iFig, it was probably 5 different business ventures that failed, right? And majority of them that failed was because of lack of preparation, of course, lack of understanding of the business, and definitely a lot of no's, right? Trying to partner up with other men, other people, and it was like, no, you're not equipped for this. No, this is not for you, and no, 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 and some more no's, right? And until, God led me into this business, and I'll share with you how I got into this tax business. But nonetheless, we face so many different no's, and sometimes the barrier is just simply because we are, women. And it makes it even harder, right? Because we are women of faith, right? So, with that said, being a woman of faith nowadays and be in business, especially this day and age, is probably one of the hardest thing that we can be. It's one of the hardest things that we can be, because for some reason or another, we're test harder. We're pushed to the grim more. I believe that we actually go through more hurt and more pain, and not because, other women that are not in faith, don't go through things and they don't get the no's, and no, they do. But again, like I was saying, we move differently because we are, children of God. And at times, 99% of the things that we go into and in our business is things that God is telling us to do, right? It's like we dream one day and we wake up and we dream that God told us, do this or go into this venture, invest here. And, God is actually the one that is telling us how to move and when to move and when to sit and when to stand and when to, and if you are a child of God that is obedient, to the voice of God, and you're obedient to the things of God, you're going to listen. So when you see your friend that is non-Christian is, going out there 100, 100 feet, miles per hour, and she's just flying with an idea that she has. And then and God is telling you, be still, sit down, don't move. Don't get that investor. Don't, make that phone call, make that one. And you're like, well, I don't like this person and I don't want to work with this person. And I don't, and God is telling you, no, this is the person I want you to call. This is the person I want you to speak with. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is why I say that it is, I think, 10 times harder for a woman of faith to go into business and actually, go through the hurdles, the ups and the downs, because we answer to someone that is higher than us. I remember, well, even till now, but since the time I opened my business, every time I would, hire a tax preparer, in my office, the very first thing I tell them, I said, listen, I am an employee just like you are. This business right here, Eden Dream Services and iFig, is not our business. It's not my business. It's not my husband's business. It is God's business. So I am just the employee that God has entrusted with this business. And I think once I laid down that foundation to my employees, They know exactly like, okay, this is not any type of business where any mumbo jumbo happens. This is a business of faith. We have to move differently. So I always prep my employees to know, number one, we don't do that over here. Right? Especially in the tax business, it is very fragile. You have to be very ethical. You have to, be someone that is trustworthy and loyal. So you cannot be in this business and be anything but. So I definitely think that, because of my faith, it makes my business, so much more harder to maneuver and uh, to do anything and everything that I want to do because I answer to God. So we are going to take a quick little break and we will be back with some more information on how to maneuver your business and being a woman in business as a woman of faith. We will take a little pause and we will be right back. See you soon.
I wear my DYS belt all the time. It goes with so many different outfits. Plus, it is incredibly comfortable. I wear my DYS belt all the time. It goes with so many different outfits. Plus, it is incredibly comfortable. I wear my DYS belt all the time. It goes with so many different outfits. Plus, it is incredibly comfortable.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back. All right, so now we are going to talk about what, I call the GPS of my business, right? It's something that I apply in my own businesses. Rather, it is, all the businesses and partnership that I have with my husband. I apply this GPS method. Now, keep in mind, and I said I was going to discuss this, so this is why I'm going through this with you guys. Now, before I started Eden Dream Services, which is my first business that actually taken off and and have become successful, is I actually, my very, very first business that I wanted to open up was a massage business, was a mobile massage business. And the second business that I wanted to open up was a modeling agency. Failed. So massage business failed, modeling business failed. And the third business that I went into was actually the same business that I named Eden Dreams. Okay, but it was an Eden Dreams floral company, and I had partnered up with one of my girlfriends, and I didn't know how to make flower arrangements, but I did know her, and she was phenomenal at landscaping and floral and all that stuff. She's so educated, to that. And so when I partnered up with her, we actually did our first big sale. I believe it was Mother's Day. It was very successful. The turnout was great. And I guess her husband at that time saw the potential that was in her. So they decided to partner up and open up their own landscaping company. And so I moved on into, actually, I was in limbo for a minute, right? Because I didn't know what to do. My partner and I, separated the business. So we moved on. And just one day I remember it was my brother called me on the phone and I was at home and I was unemployed and I was at home and he said, "Hey sis, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm doing, I'm okay. I'm doing okay. I'm just home, And he goes, "I have a shop and nothing is happening in it. What do you say of coming in and do this with me?" And I was like, this shop is all the way in North Miami. And at that time I stayed all the way down south in Cutler Bay. And I was like, okay, well, let me see what you're talking about. So long story short, I came in and we partnered up and we opened Paradise Multi Services. I know perhaps a lot of you remember that. And so when we opened Paradise, and it was a multi service again, and it was doing okay, it wasn't really paying all the bills, it was doing okay. And I thought to myself, something got to give, something more got to give. And so at that time, long story short, again, I met with my children's father. We decided that we were going to do a tax season together for me to learn, the nitty gritty. Keep in mind, I already had a bachelor's degree in business administration with a minor in accounting. So I had some background in education, but I just need the hands-on. So that first year, we partnered up. I worked at his office. And then the second year, I opened up my business. So now, how did I open up my business? It was with faith. It was with 100% God. When I tell you guys 100% God, I mean 100% God, right? So here is the story of why I say the GPS of my life and the GPS of my business. When I tried to open up Eden Dreams at that time, I was broke, y'all. Like broke. Okay. There's no need for me to make it seem like I had money. I was broke. I got laid off from my job at a major hospital here. And I really was trying to figure life out. And my conversation was with God at that time was, listen, I don't want to get laid off anymore. Like, this layoff thing is beyond me. Do something. I'm educated. You gave me intelligence. You give me smarts. Do something. And, God heard my prayer. And so my ex at that time, my children's father, we actually was trying to figure out how for us to open up our own tax office. And somehow God blessed us with him working. God blessed us with $300, right? This is why I tell you, God is in the nitty gritty and the blueprint. So with that $300, he literally handed over to me. He goes, "This is all I got. This is all I have. Make it happen." And I took that $300. And when I tell you the story about the woman with the little bit of oil that God said, "Here's a pot and keep pouring," this is my version of that story. That $300 opened up so much doors for me. I mean favor, favor everywhere I was turning. It was favor. I called the bank product group that I knew of, just out of just someone I ran into. I called, I said, "Hey, I don't have any money. Can you work with me?" And she was like, "Nancy, I got you." Maggie, forever, ever. She was like, she didn't know me from Adam, but she was like, "I got you." And that was that. And then I went and I had a friend of mine that had a store, right next door to where I had my shop. My brother introduced me to, and, my brother spoke with him. I spoke with him. I said, "Listen, I don't have any money. I, don't have anything. So can I use your location?" Oh my gosh, I'm getting teary. "Can I use your location and you simply have trust in me that once the money starts to come in, I will pay you any amount of months that I am behind?" And he looked at me. He says, "You know what? Yes, let's do it." Kirby. You know who you are, Kirby. Another one, forever, ever. And so with these two people that God placed in my life, and plus my children's father at that time, it opened up a door for me to actually go. I used that $300 on supplies. I brought a printer. I brought supplies. We had this desk that was a secondhand huge desk. We purchased that, chairs and just whatever we could get our hands on. I remember going to the thrift store to get monitor for my computer. We had the computer, but we didn't have a monitor. We went to the thrift store and purchased Man, when you do it, I'm telling you, this is just the God that I serve. This is the God that we serve, guys. This is the God that we serve. And so it's just to show you just that little moment, that 1 year, God said, here you go. And guys, needless to say, I never look back. And now I am going into 16, 17 years. 17 years of God being faithful. Sorry, y'all. 17 years of God taking care of 5 children. 17 years of God being my GPS, of God being my cloud by day and my fire by night. 17 years of God telling me, trust me, I got you. And this is the God that we serve, you know, when you are in business and you are a woman of God, you have no choice but to allow God to be the one to lead you and to direct you. 17 years. God put my oldest son through university out of state in California. In my career, God took care of 5 children. This is the God that we serve. And so when you feel like your faith is low and you feel like you have no way to go and you feel like you're bombarded and you feel like you're overwhelmed, just know that if you just say, God, lead me, direct me. When you tell me left, help me to go left. Because sometimes we don't even want. Sometimes we don't even want to listen. We're like, Lord, you sure this is the way? You sure you want us to take this path? Because it looks kind of crazy over here. But he knows best. He knows best. And of course, as Exodus 13, 21 and 22 says, God is your cloud by day and your fire by night. So we are going to take a quick pause and we will be back with our final thought and conclusion. We'll be right back.
I am thrilled to announce the new DYS Collection catalog. DYS Collection is more than just fashion. It is about making a statement. Discover the ultimate brand to declare exactly who you are. Explore our exotic new styles today.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Okay, so how do we conclude after sharing all of this little, things on faith and letting God leading you and trusting God, even when you don't understand, it's easier said than done. You're hungry, you're thirsty, you're looking for a way out, especially in this time that we live in. We have no certainty within our careers. We have no certainty within, our jobs. We don't know if we'll wake up tomorrow and being given a slip, because companies are shutting down, companies are selling. One day you have a job and the next day you don't. And then salary is not going any higher. The food is getting higher. All the expenses are getting higher. Your children's needs are just out of control because everything is expensive. So you're asking yourself, majority of you is like, okay, Nancy, it is scary to even go and do this. It's very scary for me to try to pursue something else, especially being, a woman my age. You know, I'm not 20 anymore, Nancy. I'm not 30. I'm in my 40s. I'm in my 50s. I'm in my 60s. I don't have all that energy that I had when I was young. How do I start all over? How do I pursue this business? How do I do it? How? With God. With God. And you being a woman of faith, you being a woman that loves God, you being a woman of obedience, you're being a woman that knows the voice of God, you're being a woman that has intimacy with God, you being a woman that is in your word, that is in your worship, you're in your prayer, in your fasting, you being that woman, you cannot fail. You will not fail. Now, do keep in mind, and I want to say this, you will need to go through the process. So even at times, the things that look like it's a failure, even at times, the things that look like it's not going to work out, it's part of your learning process with God. Maybe God is trying to teach you something, try to show you something, mold you, putting you around the right people, removing the wrong people from your life. All of that is part of the process of becoming a woman of God, a woman of faith that is pursuing a business, that is pursuing, being an entrepreneur or self-employment, whatever category or title you want to give it. You have to be able to do that. I can remember all the things that I did wrong in each of my failed business. My first business, the massage company that I wanted to open, the reason it failed, because I had absolutely no experience. And to be, real, I didn't really want to do the massages myself. I just wanted to have a location and hire people to come in and do the massages. But I had no idea how to start, no idea how to begin, no idea what was required. Google wasn't there at that time. ChatGPT wasn't there at that time. And we're talking back probably, 2004, 2005. No. This was about 2007 or 8. It was around that time. So I didn't have all this internet, go and search and look. We had a little something, but it wasn't like this. Second business, the agency. Wrong partners, wrong partnership. The person that I was going to go into the partnership with for the agency wanted something completely left field of what I wanted. And even though at that time it was so funny because I was not even, a serving Christian. I had already backslided. I was still in the world doing my thing. Even then, when she proposed to me what for us to do, I was like, no. I was like, no. I'm good. You could go do that. And I just walked away. The name just popped. It was LaBelle Modeling Agency. Yeah, that was the name. Y'all can have it. It's okay. But yes, yeah, that was the agency's name. And, and then of course, the third one was Eden Dreams Floral. And that one, as I told you what happened. So with all of those, failed this, failed that, it was experience. God was teaching me. God was molding me. With me then getting laid off, all the 90% of the things that I learned that is currently running my business are things that I actually learned while I was in my positions, in my job, for me to become efficient, with the accounting and dashboard and computer and hardware and software and all of that. And customer service and dealing with multiple people and communication, all of that I learned from my jobs, from my failed businesses. And these are all the things that God needed me to learn. And then eventually he said, okay, now that you have accumulated all of this stuff and I understand and I know that you're ready, here is your gift. And so this is what we as women of God have to understand. When God seem as if like he's delaying you in a project, it's not delay. And it is not, definitely not denial. It's usually most of the time, be still. Take your time and learn this. Take your time and educate yourself on this. Take your time and partner up. Well, I'm going to send you the right person. I'm going to send you this. I'm going to send you that. And little by little, you're going to see the right connection is going to happen. The right business partner is going to take place. The right this, the right that, and everything is just going to just flow. And every year is something new. Every year there's going to be something new. Every year something's going to happen. Every year you're going to encounter something. So don't think because, okay, I'm doing well this year. My God, I had a wonderful year. Next year's going to be, no, honey. Every year there's a different drama, a different client, a different situation, a different something. But God is going to help you through it because why? It was never your business. It was God's business to begin with. And you were just hired help. So, hear what I'm saying, guys. Here is what I'm saying. One, it is tougher to be a woman in business, and even 10 times tougher, the fact that you are a woman of faith. Two, being a woman of faith means you have to walk in obedience. You have to be able to allow God to maneuver with you, walk with you, talk with you, guide you, shield you. You have to be able to listen. When he says sit, sit. When he say move, move. When he say run, run. When he says jump, jump. Don't never try to go ahead of God or want to listen to other people, what they're saying or what they're doing and how fast they're moving when God is telling you to do something different. Be still and hear and be obedient to God's guidance. Let him be your GPS, your cloud by day and your fire by night. And three, wait. Don't compete. Don't see that this person is doing well. Oh my gosh, well, God must not, want to favor me. God must not want to, this or that. And because that person is doing so much better and we're in the same industry. And, especially in my industry, being in the tax business, I see a lot of people getting rich quicker than I did in their first year, their second year, and I call it tax rich, but they're very successful and they're doing very well. They're by their third year, they probably have done more than I did. But guess what? When I entered the tax business, I entered it at a time, and you guys know 2010, 11, 12, 13, people was eating. But I wanted to be ethical and I wanted to make God proud. And most of those people that was eating, I know of 4 that got locked up. 1 self-deported himself, never to be found. And the others, they're either left the business, IRS blocked them, they're not able to do taxes anymore, whatever it is. And there's a few that was ethical, they're still in the business. So don't look at what people are doing, how fast they're going, how much money they're making, especially now, tax preparers, they're posting their income, for everybody to see. Oh my gosh, I had a wonderful year and I made, this amount of $100,000 in just 4 months. And I always tell my employees, don't look at that, because you don't know what they're doing, what their fraud is, how they're scamming their clients. So don't worry about that. What's for you is for you. What God has for you is for you. And just have faith that God is going to take you through whatever the business venture is. And just know, if God gave you that idea and you are in obedience to God, you will not fail. All right? All right, guys. All right. So that is our show for tonight. And I hope that it blessed you guys, especially, again, it's needed to be said. It's needed to be said. And a lot of people are just starting their new businesses. A lot of people are going into the tax business. A lot of people are just, starting their new fiscal year. And those that are been in business forever, probably you wanted to hear something or a refresher, of your spirit, whichever way that this blessed you. I really hope that it did. Okay. And that you got something out of it. Now, a lot of you do not know, and if you do know, great. If not, I do have 2 books that are currently on Amazon, and I have The Fight Within is one by The Spirit. This is a mental health book that is tailored for those that have been through all type of abuse, whether you are a man, a woman, a child, or you've been through a household that has had a lot of abuse and you've gone through that and you just want, deliverance, you want to break through, you want to be able to relieve yourself of all type of abuses. This book is a great book for you to go and get. So get your copy on Amazon. I will put the link above. And also I have my other book, which is my autobiography. So I had to grab that from the back, excuse me. And it's called It's Not What You Go Through, But How You Break Through. And it's my story, God's glory, and the victory. And this book actually is also on Amazon, and you can get your copy there. And both books, as a matter of fact, you can actually get from me if you want a signed signature. If you want a signed book, I can go ahead and sign those and put them in the mail for you as well. So you can contact me at 305-910-7767. So you can ask me for your signed copy and I can put that in the mail for you. All right. So that is our show for tonight, guys. And again, I hope that it really blessed you. I hope that it really elevates you and pumped you for whatever business venture that you want to go into, to know that if God is on your side, you cannot fail, ladies. Okay? You will not fail. All right? So that's it. Have a blessed one, everybody. Have a good.
This is Walk Talk with Nancy.
Debate, belief, lifestyle, strengthen family bonds. Hear from special guests. Future.
Walk Talk with Nancy.